Rachel never thought she'd see Nick again. Not after everything that happened all those years ago. When they were in high school, they had been inseparable. They shared everything. Their dreams, their fears, their first kiss under the bleachers. But then, life happened. Nick went off to college, got an internship in another city, and Rachel stayed behind. The relationship ended as quietly as it had begun. No big fight, no messy breakup. It just fizzled. She watched him go, wondering if he'd ever think of her again. Years went by, and Rachel built a life for herself. She had a son, Mason, the result of a love that wasn't quite as perfect as the one she'd shared with Nick, but real nonetheless. But now, standing before him, Rachel feels an unfamiliar ache. "Rachel," Nick says again, breaking the silence. "Wow, it's been a long time." Well, she forces a smile. "Yeah, it has." Her voice cracks a little. She clears her throat, her mind racing for something to say, something to fill the empty space between them. "How have you been?" Nick looks different. More polished, more confident. There's a sharpness to him now that wasn't there before, a sense of control that somehow intimidates her. He's still handsome, of course, but now he exudes wealth and success in a way that feels almost alien to Rachel. She's not sure if she's happy to see him or uneasy. Or maybe it's both. "I'm good," Nick replies, grinning. "Just got back from a business trip. I'm actually flying out to a meeting in a couple of hours." Rachel nods, pretending she's not completely overwhelmed. She never imagined this moment would feel like a foreign country, a place she doesn't belong. The old Rachel would have been over the moon to see him again. The new Rachel. Well, the new Rachel barely recognizes herself in this airport lobby. Nick notices her hesitation. "You okay?" he asks, his voice softening. Rachel takes a deep breath. "Yeah, just a lot on my plate, you know. Life's been life." She forces a laugh, but it sounds hollow. "I get that," Nick says, the briefest shadow crossing his face. "I've been there. If you ever want to catch up." Before he can finish, a little boy races toward them. It's Mason, her son. He runs into Rachel's arms, his energy palpable. "Mom, I'm back," Mason exclaims, grinning up at her. He's all spiky hair and oversized sneakers, a kid with a world full of possibilities. Nick's eyes soften when he sees the boy. He studies Mason for a moment, then turns back to Rachel. "Is this your son?" he asks, almost cautiously. Rachel nods, her heart tightening in her chest. "Yeah, Mason. He's my everything." The words hang in the air for a moment, thick with the weight of unspoken emotions. Nick nods, then shifts his weight. "I didn't know. I mean, we lost touch for so long. I'm happy for you." "Really?" Rachel looks at him, feeling a rush of memories and emotions she didn't expect to feel. For a second, she forgets about the years of struggle, the sleepless nights, the constant worry. She's reminded of a time when everything seemed possible, when love felt effortless. But that was a lifetime ago. "I should probably go," Rachel says, glancing at her phone. "I have to pick up some groceries for dinner." Nick looks disappointed, but he hides it well. "Sure." "Rachel, really? It's good to see you again. Maybe we could grab a coffee sometime, catch up properly." Rachel hesitates, then nods. "Maybe. I'll think about it." She walks away, her heart heavy. As she exits the airport, Mason chattering beside her, Rachel feels an unfamiliar sadness settle in her chest. Maybe it's because she knows that seeing Nick again, however brief, has made her realize something. She's no longer the girl who had dreams of a future with him. She's someone else now. Someone whose dreams are smaller, quieter, but no less important. And as she gets into the car, she wonders if Nick's life is as perfect as it looks. If success and wealth have truly made him happy, or if there's something missing that he hasn't even realized yet. Days go by after the airport encounter, and Rachel can't stop thinking about Nick. She finds herself replaying the moment in her head, his smile, his sharp suit, the way his eyes lingered on her son. Nick had always been the boy with the big dreams, the one who could talk about changing the world without a second thought. But now, he's a man who's done just that. He's built an empire. His name is on magazines, on billboards, and it seems like everyone knows him. And then there's Rachel, who feels like she's barely keeping it all together. Working 2 jobs to support Mason, trying to keep her apartment from falling apart, fighting the constant pressure to be enough for her son. Nick's life couldn't be more different from hers. But the more she thinks about it, the more she realizes she doesn't want it to be. One evening, after Mason has gone to bed, Rachel sits at her small kitchen table, scrolling through her phone. Her finger hovers over the screen when she sees a news article about Nick's latest venture, his new startup that's making headlines. The headline screams Nick Westfield, the entrepreneur who built $1 million empire from nothing. Rachel's heart sinks. She wants to feel happy for him. She does. But a part of her can't help but wonder. What would her life have been like if she had chosen a different path? What would it have been like if she had gone with Nick to college instead of staying behind? What ifs hang in the air like a fog she can't shake. And then the doorbell rings. It's Nick. He's standing there, looking just as put together as he did at the airport, holding a coffee cup in his hand. "Hi," he says, as if it's the most natural thing in the world. "I was in the neighborhood and thought I'd stop by. Is this a bad time?" Rachel blinks, taken aback. "Nick, what? What are you doing here?" He gives a sheepish smile. "I wanted to apologize for how I left things. You know, after we broke up, I never gave you the closure you deserved." Rachel feels a lump form in her throat. She hadn't expected this, not at all. "I didn't want things to end the way they did," Nick continues, stepping into the apartment. "But I'm sure you've moved on, and I respect that. I just wanted you to know that I think about you sometimes. And, well, I've been successful, but I'm not sure if I've ever really been happy." Rachel swallows hard. "What do you mean?" Nick looks at her, his eyes filled with uncertainty. "Success isn't everything, Rachel. I thought it was. But it hasn't brought me peace. And seeing you again, it made me realize I've been chasing the wrong thing." Rachel's chest tightens as she takes in his words. She has spent so many years thinking that success was the key to happiness, that having more would somehow make her life easier. But now, standing here with Nick, she begins to see something different. They both stand there, in the quiet of her small apartment, facing the truth they've both been avoiding. And maybe, just maybe, they're not so different after all.